Today we will be doing lesson 2.1, square number patterns. Now in this lesson we are going to be working with arrays, and if you've forgotten what an array is, it's when we draw a picture to represent a number that has the same number of rows and columns, in this instance, to make a square number. So my first question is the number 1 a square number? So if you remember the definition, it said it was a number times itself gives you a square number. So if we take 1 times itself, we get 1, which would be 1 row of 1 square, which would be this picture that we have right here. And this is a 1 by 1 square, which happens to be a square number. So if I took my marker here and drew around this array, it does form a square. So it is a square number. Kind of cool, right? So if we look at the next picture, where you can see I have 4 squares, if we take the first square number, which is 1, and we add a row and a column, we make another square number. Because if you total that up, I have 4 squares, and 2 times 2, which is the same number times itself, gives me 4, which means 4 is a square number. And again, I can draw a square around this array and it makes a square, so that is a square number. If we take the number 4, as you can see here, I have the original 4 that we started with here, and we add a row here and a column. Then we come up with our next square number, which would be what? If you counted those up, hopefully you got 9. And this also makes a square. And 9 is a square number. So we start with 9 over here with the blue. This is our last square number, which we're going to start with to find the next one. We add a row here and a column here, and we come up with our next square number, which would be, if you count those up, 16. And as you can see, if we draw around that array, we have another square. So all of these arrays have something in common, right? They all have the same number of rows as they do columns. They're all square numbers, so that means that we take a number times itself to get the square number. And if you looked carefully, you hopefully saw that there was some kind of pattern that was occurring from where we started with our 1. So here was our first square. We went over here. This was the first square that we started with. We added a row, we added a column, we came up with our second square number. Then we took this square number, placed it over here in the green. We added a row, we added a column, came up with our next square number. This square number became our blue here. We have 9 squares. We added a row, added a column, and now we have another square number, which is 16. So if we look at that using multiplication, our first one would be 1 times 1 equals 1. Our second one would have been 2 times 2 equals 4. Our third one would have been 3 times 3 equals 9. And our fourth one would have been 4 times 4 equals 16. So in class, you're going to try to complete and figure out what the next square numbers are going to be. So get ready. So in class, we will work to complete square number patterns, and we will practice determining square numbers. Thank you for watching. See you in class.